Why was Islam defamed? Among the great religions of the world, Islam is unique in that it emerged as a complete system of life from the very beginning. Islam not only defined faith and worship but also offered a comprehensive framework for politics, economy, society, justice, human rights, and global brotherhood. For this very reason, when Islam began to spread rapidly, it shook the centers of power across the world. Its fast-growing popularity threatened those who ruled through tyranny, exploitation, and oppression. As a result, conspiracies, propaganda, and false accusations were launched against Islam, a campaign that continues even today. In this essay, we will explore why Islam was defamed, the methods used, and the motives behind these actions. 1. A threat to power structures. Islam is a religion that opposes injustice, class divisions, and exploitation. When Islam's light began to spread from the deserts of Arabia, two global empires of the time, the Byzantine, Roman, and the Sassanid, Persian, empires were already in decline. Their systems were built on slavery, inequality, and monarchy, while Islam called for equality, justice, and fraternity. Islam honored slaves and the oppressed. Women were given rights to inheritance, education, and dignity. The poor and orphans were protected. This was a direct challenge to oppressive rulers. To stop Islam, they spread false propaganda. The Prophet Muhammad was called a magician, a poet, and, God forbid, a liar, so that people would turn away from the truth. 2. The Crusades and propaganda. One of the major waves of defaming Islam began during the Crusades. In the 11th century, when Muslims controlled Jerusalem, European clergy portrayed Islam as a religion of the sword. In Western writings, Islam was painted as, Muslims are barbaric and bloodthirsty. Islam spread only by the sword. Muhammad, God forbid, was a false prophet. This propaganda was used to incite European masses to join the Crusades. The truth, however, is that under Muslim rule, Christians, Jews, and others lived in peace and enjoyed religious freedom. 3. Colonial powers and conspiracies. In the 18th and 19th centuries, when European colonial powers occupied Muslim lands, Islam became their greatest obstacle. Muslims drew strength and pride from their faith. Britain, France, and other imperial powers thus worked to defame Islam. Islamic teachings were linked with terrorism and rebellion. Muslim history was distorted. Through education and media, propaganda spread that Muslims were backward because they were trapped in Islam. The goal was to detach Muslims from their faith so that they would accept slavery and foreign domination. 4. The role of Orientalists. Orientalists, Western scholars who studied Islam and Eastern cultures, also played a role in misrepresenting Islam. Many of them deliberately distorted Islamic teachings. Jihad was equated with terrorism. Hijab and Islamic laws were portrayed as oppression. The life of Prophet Muhammad was misrepresented. Although a few Orientalists studied Islam with fairness, most served the agenda of Islam's opponents. 5. Media as a weapon. In the modern era, media became the most powerful tool in defaming Islam. After September 11th, Western media aggressively promoted Islamophobia. News outlets constantly linked Islam with terrorism. When a non-Muslim committed a crime, he was called mentally ill or a lone wolf. When a Muslim committed a crime, he was instantly branded an Islamic terrorist. Hollywood films and TV series repeatedly portrayed Muslims as terrorists, oppressors, or backward people. This systematic agenda made Islam appear as a global threat. 6. Islam's rapid growth. Another major reason behind the defamation of Islam is its rapid global growth. Today, Islam is the fastest-growing religion in the world. In Europe and the United States, thousands convert to Islam every year. The simplicity of its teachings, its rational foundation, and the spiritual peace it offers attract people. This alarms those who don't want Islam's message of peace and justice to spread. To prevent people from embracing it, they associate Islam with extremism and violence. 7. Weaknesses within the Muslim Ummah. It must also be admitted that some defamation stems from within the Muslim community itself. Sectarianism and internal divisions. Backwardness in education and science. Some extremist groups falsely presenting violence as Islam. These weaknesses fuel the propaganda of Islam's enemies. If Muslims return to the true teachings of Islam, no power could succeed in defaming it. 8. The true nature of Islam. Despite centuries of defamation, Islam's true essence remains clear. Islam is a religion of justice and equality. Islam calls for peace and brotherhood. Islam offers both spiritual fulfillment and worldly success. History shows that every attempt to defame Islam has only led to its greater spread and influence. Conclusion. Islam has been defamed because it poses a threat to tyrants, colonialists,